Section 8 of Eugene Onéguine by Alexander Pushkin. Translated by Henry Spalding. This LibriVox is in the public domain. Recording by Marianne. Canto the Fourth. Rural Life, Part 2. 19. Vladimir, hourly more a slave to youthful Olga's beauty bright, into delicious bondage gave his ardent soul with full delight. Always together, eventide found them in darkness side by side. At morn, hand clasped in hand, they rove around the meadow and the grove. And what resulted? Drunk with love, but with confused and bashful air, Lenski at intervals would dare, if Olga smilingly approve, dally with a dishevelled tress or kiss the border of her dress. 20. To Olga frequently he would some nice instructive novel read, whose author nature understood better than Chateaubriand did. Yet sometimes pages 2 or 3, nonsense and pure absurdity, for maiden's hearing deemed unfit, he somewhat blushing would omit. Far from the rest the pair would creep and, elbows on the table, they a game of chess would often play, buried in meditation deep, till absently Vladimir took with his own pawn, alas, his rook. 21. Homeward returning, he at home is occupied with Olga fair. An album, fly-leaf of the tome, he leisurely adorns for her. Landscapes thereon he would design, a tombstone, Aphrodite's shrine, or, with a pen and colours fit, a dove on which a lyre doth sit. The in memoriam pages sought, where many another hand had signed a tender couplet he combined, a register of fleeting thought, a flimsy trace of musings past which might for many ages last. 22. Surely ye all have overhauled a country damsel's album trim, which all her darling friends have scrawled from first to last page to the rim. Behold, orthography despising, meterless verses recognizing by friendship how they were abused, hewn, hacked, and otherwise ill-used. Upon the opening page you find "Qu'écrivez-vous sur ces tablettes?" Subscribed "Toujours à vous, Annette." And on the last one underlined, "Who in thy love finds more delight Beyond this may attempt to write." 23. Infallibly there you will find 2 hearts, a torch, of flowers a wreath, and vows will probably be signed, affectionately yours till death. Some army poet therein may have smuggled his flagitious lay. In such an album with delight I would, my friends, inscriptions write, because I should be sure, meanwhile, my verses, kindly meant, would earn delighted glances in return, that afterwards with evil smile they would not solemnly debate if cleverly or not I prate. 24. But, O ye tomes without compare, which from the devil's bookcase start, albums magnificent which scare the fashionable rhymester's heart, yea, although rendered beauteous by Tolstoy's pencil marvellous, though Baratynsky verses penned, the thunderbolt on you descend. Whene'er a brilliant courtly dame presents her quarto amiably, despair and anger seize on me, and malicious epigram trembles upon my lips from spite, and madrigals I'm asked to write. 25. But Lenski's madrigals never wrote in Olga's album, youthful maid, to purest love he tuned his note, nor frigid adulation paid. What never was remarked or heard of Olga he in song averred. His elegies, which plenteous streamed, both natural and truthful seemed. Thus thou, Yezykov, doth arise in amorous flights when so inspired, singing God knows what maid admired, and all thy precious elegies, sometime collected, shall relate the story of a life and fate. 26. Since fame and freedom he adored, incited by his stormy muse odes Lenski also had outpoured, But Olga would not such peruse. When poets lachrymose recite Beneath the eyes of ladies bright Their own productions, some insist No greater pleasure can exist. Just so, that modest swain is blest Who reads his visionary theme To the fair object of his dream, A beauty languidly at rest. Yes, happy, though she at his side By other thoughts be occupied. XXVII. But I the products of my muse, Consisting of harmonious lays, To my old nurse alone peruse, Companion of my childhood days. Or, after dinner's dull repast, I by the button–hole seize fast My neighbour, who by chance drew near, And breathe a drama in his ear. Or else, I deal not here in jokes, Exhausted by my woes and rhymes I sail upon my lake at times And terrify a swarm of ducks Who, heard the music of my lay, Take to their wings and fly away. XXVIII. But to Onéguine, apropos, Friends, I must your indulgence pray. His daily occupations, lo, Minutely I will now portray. A hermit's life Onéguine led. At 7 in summer he rose from bed, And clad in airy costume took His course unto the running brook. There, aping Gulnare's bard, he spanned His Hellespont from bank to bank, And then a cup of coffee drank, Some wretched journal in his hand, Then dressed himself. XXIX. Sound sleep, books, walking were his bliss. The murmuring brook, the woodland shade, The uncontaminated kiss Of a dark–eyed country maid, A fiery yet well–broken horse, A dinner, whimsical each course, A bottle of a vintage white And solitude and calm delight. Such was Onéguine's sainted life, And such unconsciously he led, Nor marked how summer's prime had fled In aimless ease and far from strife, The curse of commonplace delight And town and friends forgotten quite. XXX. This northern summer of our own, On winters of the south askit, Glimmers and dies. This is well known, Though we will not acknowledge it. Already autumn chilled the sky. The tiny sun shone less on high And shorter had the days become. The forests in mysterious gloom Were stripped with melancholy sound. Upon the earth a mist did lie And many a caravan on high Of clamorous geese flew southward bound. A weary season was at hand. November at the gate did stand. XXXI. The morn arises foggy, cold. The silent fields no peasant nears. The wolf upon the highways bold With his ferocious mate appears. Detecting him the passing horse Snorts, and his rider bends his course, And wisely gallops to the hill. No more at dawn the shepherd will Drive out the cattle from their shed. Nor at the hour of noon with the sound Of horn in circle call them round. Singing inside her hut, the maiden spins, Whilst the friend of wintry night, The pine torch, by her crackles bright. XXXII. Already crisp hoar frosts impose O'er all a sheet of silvery dust. Readers expect the rime of rose. There, take it quickly if ye must. Behold, than polished floor more nice, The shining river clothed in ice, A joyous troop of little boys Engraved the ice with strident noise. A heavy goose on scarlet feet, Thinking to float upon the stream, Descends the bank with care extreme, But staggers, slips, and falls. We greet the first bright wreathing storm of snow Which falls in starry flakes below. XXXIII. How in the country pass this time? Walking? The landscape tires the eye In winter by its blank and dim And naked uniformity. On horseback gallop over the steppe. Your steed, though rough–shod, cannot keep His footing on the treacherous rime And may fall headlong any time. Alone beneath your roof–tree stay And read De Pradt or Walter Scott. Keep your accounts. You'd rather not? Then get mad drunk or wroth. The day will pass. The same tomorrow try. You'll spend your winter famously. 34. A true child Herod, my Eugene, To idle musings was a prey. At morn an icy bath within He sat, then the livelong day, Alone within his habitation And buried deep in meditation, He round the billiard table stalked, The balls impelled, the blunt cue chalked. When evening o'er the landscape looms, Billiards abandoned, cue forgot, A table to the fire is brought, And he waits dinner. Lenski comes, driving abreast 3 horses grey. Bring dinner now without delay. 35. Upon the table in a trice Of Widow Clicquot or Moet A blessed bottle placed on ice. For the young poet they display. Like Hippocrene it scatters light, Its ebullition foaming white, Like other things I could relate, My heart of old would captivate. The last poor obol I was worth, Was it not so? For thee I gave, And thy inebriating wave Full many a foolish prank brought forth. And oh, what verses, what delights, Delicious visions, jests and fights. 36. Alas, my stomach it betrays With its exhilarating flow, And I confess that nowadays I prefer sensible Bordeaux. To cope with no more I dare, For is like a mistress fair, Seductive, animated, bright, But wilful, frivolous and light. But thou, Bordeaux, art like the friend Who in the agony of grief Is ever ready with relief, Assistance ever will extend, Or quietly partake our woe. All hail, my good old friend Bordeaux. 37. The fire sinks low. An ashy cloak The golden ember now enshrines, And barely visible the smoke Upward in a thin stream inclines. But little warmth the fireplace lends, Tobacco smoke the flue ascends, The goblet still is bubbling bright. Outside descend the mists of night. How pleasantly the evening jogs When o'er a glass with friends we prate Just at the hour we designate The time between the wolf and dogs. I cannot tell on what pretence, But lo, the friends to chat commence. 38. How are our neighbours fair, pray tell, Tattiana, saucy Olga thine? The family are all quite well. Give me just half a glass of wine. They send their compliments. But oh, how charming Olga's shoulders grow. Her figure perfect grows with time. She is an angel. We sometime must visit them. Come, you must own, my friend, 'Tis but to pay a debt. For twice you came to them and yet You never since your nose have shown. But stay, dolt am I who speak. They have invited you this week. 39. Me? Yes, it is Tattiana's fête next Saturday. The Larina told me to ask you. Ere that date make up your mind to go there. Ah, it will be by a mob beset Of every sort and every set. Not in the least, assured am I. Who will be there? The family. Do me a favour and appear, will you? Agreed. I thank you, friend. And saying this Vladimir drained his cup Unto his maiden dear. Then touching Olga they depart In fresh discourse. Such, love, thou art. 40. He was most gay. The happy date In 3 weeks would arrive for them. The secrets of the marriage state And love's delicious diadem With rapturous longing he awaits. Nor in his dreams anticipates Hymen's embarrassments, distress, And freezing fits of weariness. Though we, of Hymen's foes, meanwhile, In life domestic see a string Of pictures painful harrowing, A novel in La Fontaine's style. My wretched Lenski's fate I mourn. He seemed for matrimony born. 41. He was beloved, or say at least, he thought so, and existence charmed. The credulous indeed are blest, and he who, jealously disarmed, In sensual sweets his soul doth steep As drunken tramps at nightfall sleep. Or, parable more flattering, as butterflies to blossoms cling. But wretched who anticipates, whose brain No fond illusions daze, Who every gesture, every phrase In true interpretation hates, Whose heart experience icy made And yet oblivion forbade. End of Canto the Fourth.